Hi, welcome to my kitchen. My name's Rose and this is Hoover, our family dog. Hoover's about 9.5 years old. He's a silky terrier. And ever since we've had Hoover, he just didn't want to eat. And so last year when he had some dental work, the vet had suggested putting him on a soft food about the size of this container. So for 2 weeks, he gobbled his food down and I realized we just weren't going to do well with the hard food. So I went ahead and discovered a recipe. I've added a little bit to it. And I know it seems crazy, but I make Hoover's food and I put it in these containers, and half of this container he gets in the morning and half he gets in the evening. What I do is I'm going to show you how I make it in the crock pot. After it's done, I load it into all the containers. This batch will make about 13 to 14 of this size containers. So that's about 2 weeks worth for Hoover. And it's very simple. You literally dump it in the crock pot. Halfway through the day, I stir it up. And if you do it on low, I would do it about 7 hours. If you're doing it on high, about 5. But you'll be able to tell the only thing that you're really cooking is the hamburger and the rice. So you can stir that around, and if the hamburger still looks pink, just keep cooking it a little longer. But Hoover wakes us up every morning for breakfast, and he never liked food before, right, Hooves? What do you think of that? You want to eat? Yeah, well, he would say yes. But so let's get started. I'm going to put Hoover down and I'll show you how to throw this together. And like I said, it will cook for about, I'm going to put this on, probably on high because it's midday. And it'll take about 5 or 6 hours. And then on low, it would take about 7 or 8. So here we go. Hoover, you want to get down? Okay, Hoover is unusually active, so it's really good that he's getting a high protein diet. I start off by spraying my crock pot a little bit just so that everything doesn't stick. And then I add this is just ground round. You can get whatever is on sale. I prefer to do ground round because then it's not so much grease and so much fat, but the fat is actually good for him. And you can check with your vet to see what's good for your dog and what amount. But since he's such a small dog, this works out perfectly. I go ahead and add, that's about 2 pounds of ground beef. I think these packages run 2¼ pounds. So I break it up, and this is why having the cooking spray in the crock pot is really helpful, because then it won't all stick to the bottom, but you are gonna stir it halfway through if you're home. That really helps. So if you're working, maybe you can do it on your day off. It really is so simple. And now I'm adding 1.5 cups of brown rice. You can also do barley if you want to. And I add that over the hamburger. And then I use frozen butternut squash chunks. Dump it in. I use 2 packages of peas and carrots. Dump it in. It's really good for him. And then this is dark red kidney beans, drained and rinsed, just 1 can. And then I buy the low, you can just add water at this point. The original recipe was just water, but I do add a little bit of beef broth. But I use the low sodium or no sodium because he really doesn't need salt. So a can is about 14.5 ounces. And then I add 2.5 cups. I think this is 3 here, so no, it looks like it's about 2.5. I just add the water over that. Give it 1 more stir. And that's really it. Later on in the daytime, once it's all, I can tell that it's all cooked through, the rice will be nice and plump. I stir it up really well, fill these containers. So after everything's done, it's been packaged, I stack it in the freezer. And then each day I put 1 in because I'll keep a stack of 3 in my refrigerator. So once I use one, I take 1 out of the freezer, put it underneath so it thaws out. So this is what it looks like in the containers, and I just take approximately half of it and I put it in a dish with a fork, smash it up, and then I take some hot tap water, and it just kind of wakes it up and takes a little bit of the chill off, plus it gives him some water. I know he's drinking. So I just smashed it up. And Hoover, you want to eat? I think he does. Believe me, he loves it. Thanks for visiting my kitchen. Want to go eat? You're making a mess. Thank you.